Love is often a complex emotion, and sometimes people experience it in ways that are less obvious, especially when they are afraid of ruining a friendship or complicating a relationship. For someone who is secretly in love with you, their emotions can be incredibly intense, but they might not have the courage to express them directly. They may feel vulnerable, uncertain, or even worried about the potential consequences of confessing their feelings, which is why they hide their true emotions behind subtle behaviors and gestures. If you've noticed that someone seems to care for you deeply, but their actions don't quite match up with their words, there's a good chance they might be secretly in love with you. These subtle signs can range from being overly protective of you to showing nervousness when you're around, even though they try to play it cool. They might shower you with affection without ever vocalizing it, all the while hoping you'll notice the depth of their feelings without them needing to confess outright. So, why do some people choose to keep their love a secret? There are various reasons, but one of the biggest is the fear of rejection. If they open up about their feelings, they risk jeopardizing the dynamic they currently share with you. The fear of ruining a friendship, a work relationship, or any kind of established connection often holds them back from being honest about their emotions. They may also fear that you don't feel the same way, or they might worry that their feelings could come across as too intense or overwhelming. For these reasons, they take a more indirect approach, showing their love through actions rather than words. In this post, we'll explore 15 subtle signs that someone is secretly in love with you, but is too afraid to say it out loud. These signs can range from the way they look at you when you're not paying attention, to how they always make sure you're okay, even when they're busy with their own lives. Sometimes, these gestures are so small that you might miss them, but they carry a lot of weight for the person who is silently yearning to share their heart with you. For example, have you ever noticed how they always go out of their way to help you with even the smallest tasks? Or how they'll make subtle compliments that seem like they could be nothing, but you know there's something deeper behind them? Or maybe you've caught them looking at you when they think you're not watching, and when they quickly turn their gaze away, you wonder if they were thinking something more. These are just a few examples of the subtle ways someone can express their love without directly stating it. The truth is, people who are secretly in love with you are often terrified of what might happen if they reveal their feelings. They want you to know how much they care, but they don't want to risk pushing you away or making things awkward. Instead, they communicate their emotions through actions, protecting you, supporting you, and showing up in your life, even if it's in small ways. Understanding these subtle signs can help you decipher whether someone is secretly in love with you, but too afraid to act on it. Whether it's their protective behavior, their nervousness around you, or their constant attempts to stay in your life without being overtly obvious, these signs are the emotional breadcrumbs they leave behind in the hopes that you'll eventually pick up on their feelings. 1. He goes out of his way to help you without expecting anything in return. When someone is secretly in love with you, one of the clearest signs is their willingness to go out of their way to help you. This doesn't mean grand gestures, but rather the little things that make a difference in your life. Whether it's carrying your bags, offering to help with a task, or simply checking in when you're stressed, this person consistently steps up without ever asking for something in return. What makes this so telling is the fact that the person doesn't expect recognition or praise. They help because they care deeply, and their actions speak volumes about their true feelings. These gestures might seem small, but they show that they are paying attention to your needs and making an effort to be there for you, even if it's not immediately noticed or acknowledged. Often, people who are in love but fear making the first move will channel their emotions into acts of service. They find comfort in knowing they've contributed to your happiness, even in a small way, and it's their method of expressing affection without directly stating it. These actions can range from lending you a hand when you're overwhelmed with tasks to simply showing up when you need support, letting you know they care without making things awkward or overtly romantic. This type of person avoids the spotlight, and their love is seen in their quiet gestures. What makes it so powerful is that they don't do it for validation or recognition. They do it because they genuinely want to make your life easier and show you that they care. In their own way, they are constantly reminding you that you're important to them, even if the words to express it are left unsaid. 2. He always listens to you, even when you don't expect it. One of the most profound ways a person can express their secret love for you is by being a constant and attentive listener. When someone genuinely cares about you, they take the time to truly listen to what you're saying, not just with their ears but with their heart. Whether you're sharing something exciting or venting about your bad day, they are there, fully engaged, absorbing every word you say. This is a clear sign that they value your thoughts, opinions, and emotions deeply. When someone is secretly in love with you, they notice the little things you say, even in passing. They remember the conversations you have long after you've forgotten them. For example, they might remember your favorite food or something you casually mentioned about your dream vacation. This attentiveness is a sign that they are emotionally invested in you and want to understand you on a deeper level. Moreover, they don't just listen, they respond thoughtfully. You'll notice they offer advice or comments that show they've been paying attention to the details, sometimes remembering things you forgot to mention. They don't just talk about themselves, they take the time to know you. This type of listening creates a deeper connection, and it's a form of intimacy that doesn't necessarily need words of love to be effective. Their attentiveness might make you feel special, but also a little unsure about their feelings. While they may never outright confess their emotions, their listening skills show you how much they care. It's a way for them to build trust and strengthen the bond without putting themselves in a vulnerable position, making it an essential clue to their hidden affection. 3. He remembers the smallest details about you. When someone is secretly in love with you, they often remember the smallest details about your life, things you might not even consider significant. This could be your favorite book, a story you told once about your childhood, or even the way you like your coffee. The reason they remember these things is simple. They are constantly thinking about you. Your preferences, quirks, and interest become something they file away in their mind because they want to connect with you on a deeper level. People who are in love but hesitant to express it outwardly will often focus on these details as a way to build a sense of closeness without being too forward. By recalling something you've mentioned in passing, they can subtly demonstrate their interest and care for you without putting themselves in a vulnerable position. This kind of attention shows that they're paying attention to you in a way that goes beyond surface-level interactions. They also take note of what makes you happy or sad and use that information to make small, thoughtful gestures that will brighten your day. For instance, if they remember that you're stressed about a project, they might bring you your favorite snack or offer help, even without you asking. These are actions that show they understand you and care enough to make your life a little easier. While you might think of these details as trivial, to someone in love, they are everything. The fact that they keep track of what matters to you, even in the smallest ways, indicates how deeply they are invested in you emotionally. It's a way of saying, "I love you" without using the words, showing affection through the things they notice about you, which makes their feelings even more meaningful. 4. He acts nervous around you, even if he tries to hide it. When someone is secretly in love with you, their nervousness is often an unconscious giveaway. You'll notice small, subtle changes in their behavior when they are around you, like fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or blushing at the simplest compliment. They may try to play it off as nothing, but the little signs of anxiety show that they are deeply affected by your presence. This nervousness is a classic sign of someone who cares too much and doesn't want to risk ruining the relationship by revealing their feelings. The cause of their nervousness usually stems from fear of rejection or not knowing how you'll respond to their emotions. They may not feel confident enough to make a move, so they end up second-guessing everything they do when you're around. They might stutter or become unusually quiet, or even speak faster than usual in an attempt to hide the fact that they are overwhelmed by their feelings for you. This nervous energy is a clear reflection of how much they care. Even though they may appear calm or composed on the outside, inside they are filled with anticipation, hoping you'll feel the same way. The closer they get to expressing their true emotions, the more nervous they may become, because they fear that their confession might change things forever. Their nervousness is, in fact, their heart speaking louder than their mind, a sign that they are emotionally invested but unsure about the next step. 5. He makes subtle compliments that you might not notice. One of the most telling signs that someone is secretly in love with you is the subtle compliments they give, often hidden within casual conversations. These compliments can be very low-key, designed to avoid being too obvious or direct. For example, he might say something like, "You always know how to make me laugh. Oh, you have such a unique perspective on things." These kinds of remarks don't come off as overtly romantic, but they reveal a deep admiration and appreciation for you. The reason these compliments are so subtle is that the person doesn't want to risk making you uncomfortable or revealing their true feelings. They are trying to show affection without going too far, using compliments that might seem innocent at first glance but actually carry a lot of emotional weight. He may also compliment aspects of your personality, like your kindness, intelligence, or sense of humor, instead of your physical appearance. These are signs that his admiration goes beyond just surface-level attraction. By giving you these small compliments, he's trying to express his feelings in a way that feels safe to him. He may not be ready to confess his love outright, but these little acknowledgments are his way of letting you know how much he values you. They serve as a way to build a deeper connection while still keeping his emotions under wraps, testing the waters to see if you might reciprocate without him having to make himself vulnerable. 6. He finds excuses to spend time with you, even in group settings. If someone is secretly in love with you, they'll often look for any excuse to spend time with you, even if it's in a group setting where their feelings might be more difficult to express. They'll seek opportunities to be near you, whether it's volunteering to sit next to you at a group event or joining activities they wouldn't normally be interested in, just to have a chance to interact with you. This behavior shows that even though they might be hesitant to express their emotions directly, they want to be around you as much as possible. These small moments in group settings are a safe way for them to maintain proximity to you without making it obvious that they have deeper feelings. For instance, if you're at a party, they might casually bring up a topic that only you two would connect on, or they may frequently ask you to join conversations or outings. It's their way of trying to create a private space within the larger setting, hoping that the connection will become more apparent in the process. Moreover, this behavior reflects how much they enjoy your company and how special they feel when they are near you. In group settings, they'll often listen intently to everything you say, laugh a little harder at your jokes, and show extra interest in your conversations. These actions reveal that they are emotionally invested in you, even if they don't have the courage to take it to a one-on-one setting where their feelings could become too obvious. They'll make any excuse to be around you, just so they can share more moments, no matter how small, in the hope that eventually you'll notice their interest. 7. He is protective over you, but never oversteps. When someone is secretly in love with you, they often feel a strong desire to protect you, even if they don't openly express their feelings. This protective instinct comes from a deep care and concern for your well-being, though they are careful not to overstep boundaries or make you feel smothered. They might be there to support you during difficult moments or step in when they sense something might harm you, whether emotionally or physically. However, they never make you feel like you're being controlled or watched over. Everything they do is done in a subtle, respectful way. This protective behavior might manifest itself in small, thoughtful actions. For example, if you're feeling down, they might quietly check in on you, or if you're in an unfamiliar place, they might offer to walk you home. However, these actions are never meant to make you feel weak or helpless. They're simply their way of showing you that they care without saying it out loud. They want to make sure you're safe and happy, even if they keep their feelings hidden. The fact that they respect your independence and don't overstep their boundaries is a key indication that they are emotionally intelligent and aware of the delicate balance between wanting to care for you and giving you space. They want to protect you, but only in ways that feel comfortable to you. This level of respect for your boundaries highlights their deep affection for you while keeping their feelings under wraps. 8. He supports your goals and dreams, even if they don't involve him. When someone is secretly in love with you, they take an active interest in your goals and dreams, even if these aspirations don't directly involve them. This is a clear sign that they genuinely care about your happiness and success. They might ask about your career ambitions, personal projects, or long-term plans and offer their encouragement, support, or even advice, even though they know it might not benefit them. Their joy comes from seeing you pursue your dreams, regardless of whether they get to be part of them. This type of support is deeply selfless. They want to see you thrive and succeed, even if it means stepping back and letting you go after what makes you happy. They believe in your potential, and this is one of the ways they demonstrate their love without demanding anything in return. It's not about wanting to be a part of your journey, but ensuring you have everything you need to succeed, whether that means emotional support, practical help, or just being a listener when you need to vent about the challenges you're facing. Their support is also a reflection of their maturity and emotional investment. They are not trying to make everything about them. Instead, they are content with helping you build a future that makes you happy. This selflessness demonstrates that their feelings go beyond superficial attraction. They genuinely care about who you are and want to see you succeed in all aspects of your life. 9. He gets jealous, but doesn't want to show it. Jealousy is a natural human emotion, and when someone is secretly in love with you, they are likely to experience it, even if they don't want to show it. They might feel a tinge of jealousy when you talk about other potential love interests or when someone else receives your attention. However, despite these feelings, they will often do their best to hide them, trying not to let their emotions affect the relationship. This can manifest as a slight change in body language, like a subtle frown or a brief pause in conversation. Or they might get quiet for a moment, but quickly recover to mask their true feelings. The reason they hide their jealousy is because they don't want to make things awkward or push you away by expressing insecurity. They are deeply invested in you, but they are hesitant to reveal the depth of their emotions for fear that it might scare you off or make things complicated. They want to remain calm, cool, and collected, but deep down, the idea of losing you or someone else gaining your attention affects them more than they are willing to admit. It's important to note that this kind of jealousy isn't controlling or possessive. Rather, it's a sign of how much they care and how much they value your presence in their life. They want to be the one you turn to and the one who gets to share special moments with you. While they may feel jealousy, they respect your autonomy and try not to let those feelings get in the way of your relationship. This emotional complexity is a key indicator of someone who is deeply in love but keeping their feelings restrained. 10. He often looks at you when you're not paying attention. One of the most subtle signs that someone is secretly in love with you is when they constantly look at you, especially when they think you're not aware. It's a natural instinct for someone who is deeply attracted to you to gaze at you when you're not paying attention. These stolen glances reveal their admiration and affection for you. They might not have the courage to openly express their feelings, but their eyes speak volumes about their emotions. This behavior is often unconscious. They might look at you while you're engaged in a conversation with someone else, or when you're focused on something else entirely. Even when they try to look away or act casual, the lingering gaze is a sign that they can't help but be captivated by you. These moments often happen when they think you're not watching, but in reality, they want you to notice their admiration without having to verbalize it. The reason for these glances is that their attraction is so strong that it draws them in, even if they are trying to remain composed. They might quickly look away when they realize you've caught them, but their gaze often lingers a little too long, revealing their true feelings. It's one of those subtle, almost imperceptible signs that speak volumes about how much they care without having to utter the words. 11. He tries to be the one you can always rely on. When someone is secretly in love with you, they often try to position themselves as a reliable, dependable presence in your life. They want you to know that no matter what happens, they'll always be there for you. This means they'll make a conscious effort to support you, whether it's emotionally, practically, or even during tough situations when you least expect it. They want you to feel comfortable leaning on them because they genuinely care about your well-being. Being someone you can rely on goes beyond just helping with physical tasks. It's about showing up when you need emotional support, lending an ear when you're feeling down, and being a source of stability in times of uncertainty. This person wants to be your rock, someone you can trust with your fears, your worries, and your triumphs. They aim to prove, through their actions, that they are someone you can count on without hesitation. For someone in love, the desire to be a constant support system is often a way to connect with you on a deeper level. They want to be the person you turn to, not just because they can help, but because they're emotionally invested in your happiness and success. Being there for you, without expecting anything in return, is their way of showing their love in a practical and meaningful way. They want to be integral to your life, silently hoping that, Over time, their support will show how much they care. 12. He never forgets to check in on you, even with busy schedules. When someone is secretly in love with you, they'll find the time to check in on you, even when their schedule is packed. Whether it's sending a quick text to see how your day is going or calling just to say hi, these little gestures are a clear sign of their affection. They care enough to prioritize you, even in the midst of their own busy life. For them, the idea of not reaching out would feel incomplete, as if they are missing an important part of their day by not connecting with you. This consistent check-in habit isn't about being overbearing or controlling. Instead, it's a reflection of their deep emotional investment in your well-being. They want to know that you're okay, that you're happy, and that everything is going well in your life, even if it's just a brief moment of connection. These small actions, whether it's a message, a quick call, or just sending a funny meme to make you smile, are ways of staying connected and showing that they care, without needing to make a big show of it. Despite how busy life gets, the person who is secretly in love with you will always make time for these moments. They recognize the importance of staying present in your life, no matter how small the interaction might seem. By making an effort to check in with you regularly, they are silently telling you that you matter to them more than anything else. These small, thoughtful gestures accumulate over time and are a reflection of the love they feel but may not yet have the courage to express fully. 13. He shows his true self only around you. When someone is secretly in love with you, they might reserve their true self for moments spent with you. This is because, around you, they feel safe and comfortable enough to let down their walls and show vulnerability. This could manifest in them sharing personal stories, revealing their fears, or letting their guard down in ways they wouldn't with others. It's a clear indication of trust and deep affection because they are allowing you to see the real, unguarded version of themselves, which is not something they share lightly with just anyone. The key to understanding this behavior lies in their willingness to be authentic with you. They may laugh more freely, express their emotions openly, or speak about things that are deeply personal to them, things they've never shared with anyone else. This level of openness is rare and is usually reserved for someone they feel deeply connected to. It's an attempt to build a closer bond, hoping that by being their true self, they will show you how much they trust you and value your presence in their life. By allowing you to see this side of them, they are subconsciously sharing their love for you. They want you to understand them fully, hoping that, over time, you will come to appreciate the person they are at their core. It's a delicate balance of showing affection without overtly admitting their feelings, but it speaks volumes about how deeply they care. They don't want to put up a facade around you because they trust you and want you to see who they truly are. 14. He talks about his future, but you can tell he's hesitant to include you. When someone is secretly in love with you, they might occasionally talk about their future, but you'll notice a certain hesitation when it comes to including you in their plans. They'll mention their goals and aspirations, and while they seem confident about their future, there's a subtle, unspoken pause when it comes to discussing how you fit into that picture. This reluctance stems from their fear of making you uncomfortable or overstepping boundaries. They may want to include you in their plans but aren't sure how to bring it up, so they keep their options open. Their hesitation is often an indicator of how much they care about you, but also how unsure they are about the next step. They might avoid being overly direct in talking about a future together because they fear rejection or worry about moving too fast. Even though their feelings are strong, they aren't ready to fully express their emotions or to push for a commitment. This ambiguity in their future plans is a way of testing the waters and figuring out how you might respond, without risking the possibility of disrupting the current dynamic between you. In these moments, they are still uncertain about whether you feel the same way, so they keep the conversation about the future light and non-committal. However, it's important to recognize that the mere fact they're talking about the future with you is a sign that they see you as a potential part of their life down the road, even if they aren't ready to say it outright. 15. He hides his feelings behind casual conversation, but you can feel the depth. When someone is secretly in love with you, they often hide their true feelings behind casual conversations. They might make light-hearted comments or talk about everyday topics, but if you listen closely, you can feel that there's more beneath the surface. Their words may be playful, but there's an emotional weight to them that's impossible to ignore. This subtle layering of deep feelings beneath casual talk is a classic sign of someone trying to keep their emotions under control while still expressing their affection in a way that feels safe to them. For example, they might jokingly say, "You're impossible to resist," or "If only I could find someone like you," not realizing how much these words convey. These seemingly innocent comments often carry deeper meaning for them, reflecting their internal struggle to keep their emotions from being fully exposed. They want to express their feelings but are afraid of the consequences of doing so too openly. So, they use humor, lightness, or indirect comments to hide the vulnerability they feel. Despite their attempts to keep things casual, you can often sense the depth of their feelings in these conversations. Their eyes might give away more than their words, or the tone of their voice might soften when they speak about you. These are signs that their heart is speaking louder than their words, and that they care deeply, even if they aren't ready to admit it just yet. Their attempts to keep things lighthearted are a way to test the waters and see if you might pick up on their feelings, without making things awkward or overly intense.